Hey Movie What fans, how are you today? As you know, Independence Day 2 is coming out and I'm hoping it's going to be awesome. So I decided to do this review on Independence Day. So I did one, but honestly, I had a lot more to say about the film, but I didn't want to give away any spoilers. So I decided to do a spoiler review. And now I'm just going to lay it all out on the line. So basically, Independence Day is a really awesome movie. I mean, it's got to go down as one of the classic sci-fi films of all time. Now, some people may not agree with that because it has a sort of campy, slapstick aspect, entertainment aspect to it. But what I've decided or discovered with films in general is that you need a balance of these kind of things, you know? You need entertainment and realism. If it's too realistic and it doesn't really entertain you, it just doesn't work the same. For example, in the movie Deep Impact, which was a very realistic, almost documentary-like portrayal of if an asteroid hit the Earth. At first, I saw that movie, I thought it was better. But then I saw Armageddon, which had a more campy entertainment aspect to it to balance out the seriousness. And when I saw Armageddon, I was like, oh, that's stupid. You know, they're not taking this seriously. This isn't realistic. But the interesting thing is, over the years, I've actually learned to love Armageddon way more. I don't even remember what Deep Impact was about. So it's the same thing here. And I think Roland Emmerich has, like I said, he has a good balance of seriousness, realism, and entertainment. Sometimes he takes the entertainment part too far. Sometimes you're like, that's not realistic, that's stupid, why are you doing that? But then you can see how like he couldn't resist it, and he couldn't help himself. He just had to do that thing, you know, that's kind of silly, right? But he had to do it, right? Anyway, I think for your average person, they're gonna like the movie. And it's been 20 years since the last movie, but it's great. So anyway, I just want to freely talk about it. So there's some things I really like about it. Like I like all the characters. They're so funny. And there's so many cool one-liners in this film. I mean, a lot of them, right? And so there's, so like Will Smith and his co-pilot, they have a lot of cool one-liners. Will Smith has a lot of great one-liners. There's a scene where he's like battling one of the aliens after he crash lands, and it's just awesome. I mean, these are classic one-liners that will just go to the end of time, you know? And you can just tell the writers are having a great fun time with that. And then they end up at Area 51. So of course they had to bring Area 51 into this, right? And they just have so much fun with Area 51. It's like everything you would imagine in your worst nightmare that Area 51 is, right? And then they have the guy that played Data in Star Trek. They have him playing this mad scientist in Area 51, and he just does an awesome job at it. You know, it's just really great. So, you know, like there's a scene where he's like, oh, you want to see them? You know, he's talking about the aliens when the president comes, and of course it's like the president doesn't even know anything about this place. Then he turns to his Secretary of Defense. He's like, how come you didn't tell me about this place? And he's like, oh, plausible deniability, you know. And then, you know, Jeff Goldblum's father comes up and he's like, well, how do you pay for this? You know, and he's like, oh, what you think they charge $800 for a screw, or $500,000 for a toilet seat? You know, like this. It's just great. There's a bunch of lines like that. And so, you know, the aliens come and they destroy, you know, all the cities and stuff. And, you know, that part's okay. But I felt like some of the militaristic aspects of the battle sequences could have been done in a much more realistic way. I mean, like, you know, they only attack them with fighter planes. It's like, is this out of all the militaries of the world, this is all we're going to do? You know? And then, you know, that part was kind of silly, but maybe that wasn't the point of the film. So everything looks hopeless, and then Jeff Goldblum realizes that he could use a computer virus to bring down the alien ships. And the reason is because the ships are sending a signal to all the mothership's sending a signal to all the little ships that are over the cities, and these are, you know, this is how they coordinate around the planet. And they use our satellites to embed this signal. Now, why they would use our satellites, I have no idea. Like, wouldn't they use their own stuff? What if we didn't have satellites? What were they going to do? But it's an interesting idea. So he works at a TV station, so he realizes there's this weird signal in the TV signal coming from the satellites, and he figures out that it's this signal from the mothership, and that's how they're coordinating everything. Well, he comes up with this idea that, you know, we're going to use a computer virus to infect the mothership, and that'll bring the shields down on the alien ships that are over the cities, and then that's how we'll attack and destroy them. First of all, these ships are humongous. They're as big as cities, that these alien ships over each city. And, you know, this idea that, like, you're gonna, you know, with some fighter planes and some little missiles, you're gonna, like, destroy these things. That plays out at the last battle where they like, we're running out of missiles, you know, it's like, and then something happens. But I just thought all that was kind of silly. Like, here comes this alien race from thousands of light years away, and you're gonna somehow infect their computer with a virus. And so how would we even understand their computers that far into the, you know, that advanced? There's no way. That would be like, you know, some people from World War, no, not even World War II, like some cavemen coming along and seeing one of our computers and figuring out how to hack it. Like, that's just completely unrealistic. I mean, maybe it could have happened, but it needed to be explained in a better way. They don't explain it whatsoever. Somehow Jeff Goldblum just figures that out. So it has these kind of holes in it, but I don't know, it's a fun movie. You'll be laughing and stuff. It's great. So you're probably like, who cares about computer viruses? But I mean, all of Roland Emmerich's films kind of do that to me. Like, I feel like he always gets to this place and it could go so much deeper. Like in Stargate, you know, which I think to me is one of his best films ever. Everything's going great, and then like 2/3 into the film, all of a sudden they just tell the whole plot and it just dies. You know, you're just like, oh, okay, and then it just dies. And that's one of the reasons that film is not as great as it could be. Although I heard they're making they're gonna refilm that. They're gonna remake Stargate, a whole sequel of 3 films, which would be awesome. I hope they do a better time this time, because we're smarter now, Mr. Roland. We're not just a bunch of dumb people, you know? And I hate that how Hollywood thinks we're all a bunch of dumb people, but they know we're smarter now. Like, we can get this. We all understand all this stuff. So I wish they would, like, you know, like movies like Gravity and The Martian weren't, you know, they weren't dumbed down to us, right? So Interstellar, that's right, you know. Hollywood, we need more movies like that. I would just highly recommend Independence Day. It's definitely one of my top favorite sci-fi films of all time. All right, well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends.